someone mentions to us Parashat Emor, our usual reaction is, oh yeah, we know this Parashat Emor. It has all the Yom Tovs, all the Chagim. Eile Moadei Hashem, Mikrei Kodesh, Pesach, Shavuot, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot. A lot of fun. We know all the lanings from all the Yom Tovs. But really, that's only the second half of the Parsha. The first half, what's usually considered as the boring half, is actually pretty long. And it has a lot of topics which we usually don't spend a lot of time delving into, like the prohibition of the Kohanim to become Tameh, all the halachas of their marriage, or who is allowed and who is not allowed to eat korbanot, to eat kochim, what ailments of animals prevent them from being worthy of sacrificing the Beit Mikdash. All these topics get a lengthy part in the first half of our Parsha. When we think about it, I think the second half of the Parsha, the Yom Tovs, are based on the first half. What do I mean? If we take a good look at the Parsha as a whole, we see that there's a term that repeats itself throughout the whole Parsha. And that term is Kedusha, holiness, and its opposite, Chilul, the desecration of holiness. And our Parsha starts with V'kidashto. You need to hold the Kohen as holy. Ani Hashem mekadishchem. And again, V'lo yichalel et mikdashi ki ani Hashem mekadisham, not to desecrate the holiness of the Mikdash. V'shamru et mishmarti, v'lo yichalelu ki ani Hashem mekadisham. Throughout the whole first half of the Parsha, and then continuing into the verses talking about the Yom Tovs, Eile Moadei Hashem Mikra'ei Kodesh, days that are called out as days of holiness, the holy festivals. And what is this relationship between the first half of the Parsha and the second half? I believe is that the first half of the Parsha deals with things that are already holy as a given. The Kohanim have a certain level of holiness. The Mikdash has a certain level of holiness. The Korbanot have a certain level of holiness. That's a given. And our job is to make sure that that holiness is not desecrated. V'lo techalelu et Shem Kodeshi. And to make sure it's kept and maintained. That is stage number one. If we know how to do that, how to keep what we already have, then we can move on to the next step, which is adding Kedusha, adding holiness, and creating another new level. Eile Moadei Hashem Mikra'ei Kodesh Asher Tikru Otam Bemoadam. Chazal say, don't read Asher Tikru Otam, but the drashes Asher Tikru Atem. Am Yisrael creates the holiness of the holidays, of the three festivals and the rest of the Chagim. And we have the ability to add Kedusha. We say in the blessing, Mekadesh Yisrael V'azmanim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives Kedusha to Am Yisrael, to us, and we transfer that Kedusha, we create Kedusha of time, of our calendar, of the holidays, the festivals. And I think this is a very big lesson. The structure of our Parsha teaches us is that a lot of times we have a tendency to look for new things. What are we going to invent? What new initiative? What things? It's all great. And adding things is always great. But this tendency to add more sometimes comes at the expense of maintaining what we already have. You can't jump to the second level if you don't know how to maintain the first one. So our Parsha tells us the first half is keep the holiness. Al techalelu. Make sure that the things are already holy. The Kohanim, the Mikdash, the Korbanot, that they stay at their level of holiness. And once you know how to do that, you can move on to the second half of the Parsha and add a second level of holiness by creating the Yom Tovs and other ways of adding holiness and good into this world. First maintain and then add more. That is the way Kedusha works, and that is the way everything else in our life that we work positively should work. Shabbat Shalom.